The algorithm chose you. Here's what most people don't realize. These platforms aren't just companies. They're architectures, systems of systems, and they've become so complex that even the people who built them don't fully understand how they work anymore. Let me give you an example. YouTube recommends videos to you. That's obvious. But did you know the recommendation algorithm is trained by watching 500 million hours of video watched every single day? It's not one person deciding what you should watch. It's a neural network, an artificial brain that's learned from billions of us simultaneously. It knows something about you that you don't even know about yourself. It knows what you'll click before you do. Facebook's newsfeed? Same thing. It tests every post on a small group first. Measures engagement. If people interact, it spreads. If they don't, it dies. But here's the trick. It doesn't measure what's good for you. It measures what keeps you looking. Outrage spreads like wildfire. Cute animals? Pretty good. Nuanced political discussion? Dead on arrival. The system isn't evil. It's just optimized for the wrong thing. It's like evolution. It doesn't care about making you happy. It cares about making you stay. And we did stay. God, did we stay? I want to start with a confession. 3 weeks ago, I checked my screen time for the month. 47 hours on social media. That's nearly 2 full days. Gone, vanished into the void. And here's the thing that really got me. I couldn't remember a single post, not one. 47 hours of my life and my brain kept nothing. Nothing worth keeping anyway. So I did what any rational person would do. I felt terrible for about 5 minutes. Promised myself I'd do better. And then immediately opened Instagram to distract myself from feeling bad about being distracted. We all do this. We all know we're doing it, and somehow we can't stop. Tonight, I want to talk about why. Not the obvious answer, that social media is designed to be addictive. We know that already. That's yesterday's revelation. I want to talk about something deeper, something we don't talk about because it's uncomfortable. We didn't just get addicted to social media. We got addicted to not being ourselves. In 2004, Mark Zuckerberg launched Facebook from a Harvard dorm room. In 2006, Jack Dorsey sent the first tweet. In 2010, Kevin Systrom posted the first photo on Instagram. These weren't evil people. They weren't villains in a Bond film rubbing their hands together saying, "Let's enslave humanity's attention." They were builders, creators. They wanted to connect people. But here's what happened that nobody predicted. They didn't just build platforms. They built the most sophisticated psychological delivery system in human history, and they did it by accident. Let me explain. Your brain has a chemical called dopamine. You've heard of it. The pleasure chemical. But that's not quite right. Dopamine isn't about pleasure. It's about anticipation. When our ancestors saw a rustling bush, dopamine flooded their brain. Not because the bush was nice to look at, but because something might be in there. Food, danger, a mate. That anticipation kept us alive. We couldn't ignore the bush. We had to check. Now think about your phone. Every notification is a rustling bush. Every refresh is you checking if there's something in there. Maybe someone liked your post. Maybe someone replied. Maybe something happened while you were gone. Maybe. That's the word that destroyed us. Because maybe triggers dopamine better than yes or no ever could. Slot machines work the same way. You don't pull the lever because you know you'll win. You pull it because you might. Social media is a slot machine in your pocket, and you pull that lever 150 times a day. The platforms didn't do this on purpose at first, but once they noticed we couldn't stop checking, once they saw the data, they optimized for it. They made the bush rustle louder. In 2010, the average human attention span was 12 seconds. By 2023, it dropped to 8 seconds. That's less than a goldfish. We used to read books. Now we skim captions. We used to have conversations. Now we exchange reactions. We used to think deeply. Now we think fast. But here's what breaks my heart. We don't even notice what we've lost. When's the last time you sat with an uncomfortable emotion without reaching for your phone? When's the last time you were bored and just let yourself be bored? When's the last time you were alone with your thoughts and didn't panic? We've outsourced our emotional regulation to an algorithm. We feel sad, scroll. We feel anxious. Scroll. We feel lonely. Scroll. The phone isn't just distracting us from our lives. It's teaching us that our lives aren't enough. Social media gave us something unprecedented in human history. The ability to compare ourselves to everyone, everywhere, all at once. For millions of years, you compared yourself to your tribe. Maybe 150 people. You knew them. They knew you. If you were the best hunter in your village, you felt good. That was enough. Now, you compare yourself to everyone who's ever picked up a camera. You're not just competing with your neighbor. You're competing with filtered, edited, curated highlight reels of 7 billion people. And your brain doesn't know the difference. Your brain sees someone with a better body, better house, better life and thinks, I'm failing. But you're not failing. You're just human, comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's show reel. Here's the cruel irony. The people you're jealous of are jealous of someone else. Everyone's looking up, nobody's looking around, and we're all miserable together. This is the loneliest we've ever been as a species, in the most connected era in history. You think you're in control because you chose to open the app. But did you? Your phone is engineered to undermine your willpower at every turn. The red notification badge? That color was chosen because red signals urgency. Your brain sees it and thinks, threat, check now. The infinite scroll? Designed by a guy who later said he regrets it because it exploits human psychology. The autoplay on videos? Keeps you watching without making you decide to keep watching. Every feature is designed to remove friction, make the next click easier than the last one. And here's what nobody wants to admit. You cannot willpower your way out of a system designed by the smartest behavioral psychologists on Earth, backed by billions of dollars, tested on billions of people, and refined every single day. You're not weak. The game is rigged. So who controls the world? Not Mark Zuckerberg, not Elon Musk, not Sundar Pichai. They built the machines, but the machines have evolved beyond them. The algorithms are trained by all of us. They learn from our clicks, our scrolls, our time. We are teaching them what works. And then they use what they learned to keep us teaching them more. It's a loop, a feedback system with no off switch. But here's the uncomfortable truth. We're not victims, we're participants. Every time we open the app when we're bored, we train it to cure our boredom. Every time we scroll when we're sad, we train it to manage our sadness. Every time we check when we're anxious, we train it to promise relief. We built this cage together, one click at a time. So what do? The easy answer is just delete it. Take back control. But that's a lie, and we both know it. Because for most of us, we can't just delete it. Our jobs are there, our friends are there, our communities, our customers, our family members who live far away. Deleting everything is a luxury most people don't have. So the real question isn't whether we use these platforms, it's how we use them without letting them use us. And that's harder, because it requires something most of us have forgotten how to do. It requires us to be intentional. I'm not going to stand here and tell you social media is all bad. YouTube taught me more than university ever did. Twitter connected me with people who changed my life. Instagram lets me keep up with friends I'd otherwise lose touch with. These tools can be incredible, but only if we use them like tools, instead of letting them use us like fuel. So here's what I'm doing. Not rules, just experiments. First, I put my phone in another room when I sleep, because the first thing I see in the morning shouldn't be other people's lives. It should be my own. Second, I turned off all notifications except messages from real people. If it's important, they'll text me. If it's not, it can wait. Third, before I open any app, I ask myself, what am I looking for? If I don't know, I don't open it. Because if I don't decide, the algorithm will decide for me. Fourth, I schedule scroll time. Sounds ridiculous, but 30 minutes of intentional scrolling beats 3 hours of mindless scrolling every time. Fifth, I create more than I consume. Even if it's just a comment that helps someone, even if it's just one photo I actually care about. Creation makes you feel human. Consumption makes you feel empty. None of this is perfect. I still waste time. I still fall into the trap. But here's what I've noticed. The more intentional I am, the less power it has over me. I want to leave you with something I only recently understood. The opposite of distraction isn't focus. The opposite of distraction is traction, being pulled toward what matters instead of pulled away from it. These platforms will never stop trying to distract you. That's their job. That's how they make money. They're not going to change. But you can build traction. You can choose what pulls you. You can decide what's worth your time. Because here's the secret they don't want you to know. Your attention is the most valuable resource on Earth. And it's the only one you can't get back. Every minute you spend scrolling is a minute you're not learning, creating, connecting, or becoming who you want to be. Not in a productivity culture grindset kind of way. In a your life is happening right now and you're missing it kind of way. Tonight you'll leave here. You'll check your phone. We all will. I will too. But before you open that app, I want you to ask yourself one question. Am I choosing this or is this choosing me? Because the difference between those two things is the difference between living your life and watching someone else's algorithm decide what your life looks like. You are not a data point. You are not a user. You are not a product to be optimized. You're a human being with a finite number of days, a brain that can imagine impossible things, and the agency to decide what you pay attention to. The world will always try to steal your focus. The platforms will get better at it every year. but your attention is still yours to give. So give it to something that deserves it. Give it to someone you love. Give it to something you want to build. Give it to the life happening right in front of you, because that's where control actually lives. Not in deleting everything, not in perfect discipline, but in choosing again and again and again what you look at, what you think about, and what you let into your mind. The algorithm is not going anywhere, but neither are you, and you get to decide which one wins today.